Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity boys soccer contest between the visiting Falcons of Cambridge, Rindge, and Latin School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Well, for those of you who have followed some of my other broadcasts on my channel, you know we had a couple of home games for the girls' soccer team earlier this week. But now, after a two-game road trip, it's the boys' turn to have their home opener here at Skyline. Their first home game of the 2024 season. Been a less than ideal start for the Warrior boys so far. They've started out 0-2 on the season, lost 4-1 to Natick on Tuesday, lost 2-1 to Needham yesterday, or not yesterday, on Thursday, excuse me, keeping track of days. But they are hoping to get their first number in the win column here with their first home game against Cambridge Rindge, a Cambridge Rindge team that they did defeat late last season on October 21st. Brookline bested the Falcons 1-0. As part of a stretch where they went 5-0-1 to close out the season after a rough 4-6 start. According to MIAA, they finished with an 11-6-1 overall record, which earned them the 6th spot in the Division I power rankings for the 6th seed. They had a bit of an upset scare in the round of 32 last year against 27th-ranked Algonquin, but prevailed in a shootout after two scoreless overtime periods. But ultimately, Brookline did suffer the upset loss in the round of 16, losing to number 11 Winchester 3-0. For Cambridge, last year they went 8-7-1 to finish 19th in the power rankings. Lost to number 14 Natick in the round of 32. So we'll see how these two teams fare as they're trying to get things going here in a new season. Couple of new things folks might have noticed so far in this broadcast. First of all, we've got a new vantage point that we're shooting from. The Brookline girls soccer coach, Ben Peters, was kind enough to lend me a high-rise tripod that was just sitting in the team's equipment shed out here at Skyline. So I'm able to use that here to make up for the fact that there are no bleachers and no place to get elevation out here at Skyline. So, you know, hopefully it'll be a slightly better vantage point. We got a bit of a blind spot for a little bit, like right at the near side sideline, right at midfield. There's a bit of a blind spot, but aside from that, we should have a pretty good view. And no matter how many fans pack in here at Skyline, we won't have the corners cut off from our view like we had in previous years. So I think it's an upgrade, personally. And then you might notice at the bottom center of your screen, we've actually got a paying sponsor from a local business here in Brookline, as I'm happy to say that this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esh Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent Dr. Brandon Esh for the non-corporate, personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eshdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or eshdental.com. You can find all that information in the description section down below, where you can also find a link to the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club if you'd like to donate money to the team. And I think I just heard the whistle from the officials, so we're soon going to be getting this one underway. I don't think I'll be able to read lineups before we get this one started, but at the very least, I'll be able to run our intro video. Warriors versus Falcons in the boys soccer home opener From Skyline Park, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Soccer.
Deflecting across, corralled by Brookline, shot is in! Wally Lawrence throwing it into the box. Header from Lockwood, knocked down, kicked is in! Grady Ames! Can he deliver the winner here? Yes!
All right, the two teams huddling up to get this one underway. We got a few recent Brookline graduates already in the live chat, which I absolutely love to see. We got Gabe Spaggett saying, "Up the Warriors." Eamon Bochelle saying, "Come on, lads," and Liam Alcalay saying, "Hey, Eamon," as Gabe responds, "Hey, Liam." Happy to see you guys in the live chat supporting your former team. Hope all is well for you guys in the first year of your post-high school lives. Those three are among a number of seniors that Brookline graduated last year that they're going to try and fill the holes for. Among their graduates were Rohan Brown, Oliver Stern, Eamon Bochelle, Sebastian Spinelli, Gabe Spaggett, Henry Ames, Jason Rabat, Sebastian Cuervo, Liam Alcalay, Tony Zhang, Eli Traub, and Jackson McGee. So a fair number of holes that Brookline's going to be trying to fill this season. And of course, if there's anyone else tuning in that would like to leave a note in the live chat, I highly encourage it. Always encourage the audience participation. As the teams get ready to take the field for the first half, I'm going to try and read through this year's Brookline roster as fast as I can, see if we can get it done before opening kickoff. Going in order of jersey number for Brookline this year, first off, we have a sophomore, number 2, Sammy Treistman. Next, a senior captain, number 4, Jack Fitzgerald. A junior, number 6, Kai Putney. A junior, number 7, Jacob Friedman. A senior, number 8, Ben Speicher. A senior, number 9, Maury Shende Ruiz. A freshman, number 10, Danmar Thedor-Villier. A junior, number 11, Koyam Nicoli. A junior, number 12, Ryan Goldberg. A sophomore, number 13, Julian Whale. A sophomore, number 14, Jeffrey Dong. A junior, number 15, Santi Sierra. A junior, number 16, Jad Torres. A senior captain, number 17, Grady Ames. A senior, number 18, Josh Bittner. A junior, number 19, Travis Applebaum. A senior, number 20, Aiden Kapusta. A senior captain, number 22, Nate Lockwood. A junior, number 24, Wally Lawrence. A junior, number 25, Jonah Lipman. A senior, number 26, Frederick Schreiber-Wachnick. A senior, number 27, Timur Tunkman. A freshman, number 30, Lars Peterson. A senior goalie, number 98, Luca Campbell. And a junior goalie, number 99, Alec Smagula. Head coach of the Brookline High boys soccer team is Kyle Bolu-Jones. So we got the full roster through for Brookline. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the Cambridge players in time, but we are underway. Note, if I'm getting the pronunciation of any players' names wrong, please correct me in the live chat. Brookline gets the opening possession. They swing it around to the back line. As it's moved across now to number 19, Travis Applebaum. He boots it upfield, trying to send a leader here. It's booted away by Cambridge. Cambridge gets it up to their number 18, Ian Harmon. Pass to the middle, quick touch to the outside to number 21, Angel Nunez. And a nice steal out of the middle by Brookline, sent down the far side for Wally Lawrence, but a slide kick knocks it away. That was Shentao Tien Crawley of the Falcons knocking it out of bounds. Brookline with a quick throw in. It's tapped back for Grady Ames, but stolen away. Quick passing around, moved out to the near side to number 13, Brennan Loud. Loud passes to the middle to number 2, Rafik Bouibia. Couple of passes, it's knocked away. Good defense there, I believe, by number 25, Jonah Littman. It's going to be picked up by the Cambridge goalie, number 1, Eyasu Tsegaye. Moved along the back line. Pass up the middle, skips past its intended target. It was intended for number 28, Andre Baraglia. Now a pass back from number 4, Jack Fitzgerald, to the goalie, number 99, Alex Smagula. Brookline works it out to Fitzgerald on the near side. Quick passing back and forth. It goes back to Applebaum. Applebaum boots it way upfield. It's knocked down, corralled by the Falcons. They've done a good job controlling the long leading kicks from the Warriors so far. They tried for the give and go, but disrupted by the combined defense of Applebaum and Fitzgerald. A header towards the middle from number 12, Ryan Goldberg. Now it's taken by Fitzgerald, kicked up for Danmarth Dorvillier. And he got swarmed by defenders. It's taken away by the Falcons. Quickly trading possession back and forth to start here in the first half. A leading kick might have the edge. Littman just barely back and able to disrupt the rush by Rafik Bouibia as it's knocked out of bounds. Throw into Bouibia, disrupted, back out of bounds. We're having a little bit of shakiness with the Wi-Fi to start here today. That's kind of what happens whenever we get a crowd out here at Skyline. Not much can be done about that, but I am recording this while live streaming it, so we'll have a full, uninterrupted broadcast that I'll be able to post later tonight. Lawrence passes to the middle. A nice leading pass from Goldberg up to Fitzgerald, who goes up the near sideline. Fitzgerald trying to gain the edge. Now sends in a crosser, bouncing along, just missed his cutting teammate. I think that was number 14, Jeffrey Dong, who was crashing towards the box there as it skipped past both him and Dorvillier. Cambridge trying to reset from the back. Pass up the middle, a little dangerous, so they send it back to the back line to number 4, Tien Crawley. Sent up the line, gets to number 18, Harmon. Harmon dribbling across midfield. Pass was blocked out along the far side, controlled by Brookline now. A pass across. Gets out to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald looking, sending it up the line for Lawrence. Oh, Lawrence lost it off his heel and couldn't keep it in bounds. You could see the idea he had there. He was hoping the ball would go through his legs and out in front of him so he could take off on a breakaway, but it bounces wrong, goes off his heel and out of bounds. That one knocked out of bounds. Throw in from Fitzgerald off the head of Grady Ames, but corralled by the Cambridge defense. And it's lost on the near sideline, out of bounds Cambridge ball. Loud throws it in. Gets it to number 5, Reese Brown. Brown sends it back to number 4, Tien Crawley. Tien Crawley lifts one. Oh, was that off a hand or was that offsides? What's the call? Looks like it. I think it might have been an offsides call as Bouibia had sort of an outside position on Applebaum there that got him just ahead of Applebaum before the ball got there, which is an offsides call. Either that or they called him for being too physical. Long kick from Smagula is knocked down. Corralled by Goldberg, sent back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald turns around, sends one up the line, broken up. but recovered by Goldberg. Passes it back to Fitzgerald, but stolen away. Swooping in and taking it is Andre Baraglia. Passes forward, and Buibia is cut off at the last by Jonah Littman. Passes up to Fitzgerald, who gets it over to number 22, Nate Lockwood. Pass to the outside now. And now up to Dorvillier. Couldn't quite corral it off the pass from number 8, Ben Speicher. As that ball is going to roll out the back end, and I believe is going to be a goal kick for the Warriors. No score as of yet early in the first half here as Smagula gives it over to Applebaum. Applebaum boots one, long leading kick, deflected down, almost corralled by Dorvillier, but knocked out of bounds by number 6, Michael Brown, who struggled to corral it initially. Fitzgerald throws it in for Dorvillier. Tried to keep it in bounds, and I think he did get the favorable deflection. Got the favorable deflection off the body of number 15, Giacomo Ramusini Zambodi, and that will give Brookline the first corner kick of this game. Goldberg setting up to kick this one towards the box. Flies in, and it's caught by Segaye as he rifles it. Stolen quickly by Lockwood, passed back to Littman. Littman up the near side for Fitzgerald to the middle. Lockwood taps it forward to Ames, back to Lockwood. Further back to Littman as they reset. Out to Fitzgerald again. Fitzgerald fakes to avoid the slide tackle and passes it back to Littman. Littman got it through but didn't corral it cleanly as it's knocked away, stolen away by Harmon. Pass intercepted though, stolen away by Dong. Dong, a long kick, too far to be chased down. It's scooped up by Segaye. Thrown out to the far side to Reese Brown, I think, or no, to Tien Crawley, excuse me. Tien Crawley boots one, too far for anyone to chase down. It's going to be corralled by Smagula. Given out to Applebaum. Applebaum near side to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald pass intercepted, taken away by Loud. Loud moving down the near sideline, but cut off, and it's booted away by Applebaum. Headed down by Zambodi, but controlled now by Lawrence. Lawrence pass to the middle, finds Lockwood. Lockwood sends it up the near sideline for Goldberg. Goldberg has it in bounds, trying to control it, pass back for Lawrence. That one was somehow kept in bounds. Looked like it was going to go out, but Dorvillier recovers, pass back for Ames. Ames sends a pass further back, out of reach for Lockwood, but racing in, shooting was Speicher as he launches one over the bar. Boy, I thought that pass from Goldberg to Lawrence went out of bounds, but the official says he just barely kept it in, and Brookline kept up the attack, but couldn't find the back of the net as still no score here at Skyline. Out far side to Tien Crawley. Pass forward gets just past Dong, and a fight for it is won by Lockwood. Lockwood passes it back to Speicher. Speicher, a leading kick for Lawrence, but too far, and Segaye comes out to take it. Sends it forward to Reese Brown, but intercepted now by Fitzgerald. Ames try to touch pass, but disrupted, taken away. And now Baraglia off and running with it. Baraglia looking around, pass, gets to Buibia. His shot deflected, but recovered by a teammate. That shot off the outside of the net, and it'll be a goal kick, as that was almost a great chance for Harmon. Bit of a limited angle, though, after the initial block of the shot by Buibia. And now it'll be a goal kick for Smagula, as substitution checks in for Brookline. It is number 7, Jacob Friedman, replacing Danmarth Dorvillier. Long goal kick deflects down and is controlled by Cambridge. Pass forward to Baraglia. Baraglia racing in with it, fires a shot himself, but I think it deflected off of somebody there, or it might have sliced off the side of his foot. Either way, it's scooped up by Smagula. Given back to Applebaum. Applebaum walking up with it. Pass forward to Goldberg. Goldberg slips and falls, but recovers and gets a pass out to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald winds, kicks a leader. That's way too far for anybody, and it's going to be taken off a hop by Sagaye. This one rifled near side, but a mistake there as it's intercepted by Goldberg. Sent forward to Friedman. Friedman passes it back to Lockwood. Across to Speicher. Brookline trying to get set up on offense here. Speicher dribbles around one. Taps to the middle for Lawrence. Forward to Friedman. Friedman pass back to Lawrence. Lawrence launches a shot. Saved by Sagaye. Juicy rebound. Swooping in trying to get it, but it's cleared out by Michael Brown. Couldn't keep it inbounds, and it'll be a corner kick for Brookline. But some nice ball movement by the Warriors after getting some favorable position in the opposing end. Wally Lawrence actually got a really nice shot off of a bouncing pass, but a nice save by Sagaye, and then hustle by the Falcons defense to prevent any putbacks. Corner kick flying in, too high and too far, and it's going to bounce out of bounds, and it'll now be a goal kick for Cambridge. I can see that we're dropping a number of video frames off the Wi-Fi, but I hope at least that my audio calls are able to come through well enough so you guys are still able to follow the action to some extent, even if the technology is being a little uncooperative. Sagaye with the goal kick. Flies out near side, stolen away. Goldberg sends it forward. Crosser coming towards the box, headed back. Goldberg fires, deflected. Oh, point blank, off a deflection. It's saved by Sagaye. A crazy scramble for a pinball bounce there inside the box. But once again, the Cambridge defense holds on, and we're still scoreless. Tien Crawley going up the far side. Slide tackle by Friedman. Takes it away. Trying to keep up the pressure here. Friedman barely gets a sliding pass away, but a whistle is blown and a foul is called. That was a nice crosser into the box from number 16, Jad Torres, who's checked into the game. Friedman off that slide tackle. Coming up a little hobbled, but seems to be generally okay. He's staying in the game. Brookline setting up for a free kick here as some subs come in for Cambridge. Looks like it'll be Ben Speicher taking the free kick here. Sends it towards the box. Off the head of Michael Brown. Sagaye punches it down, and it's kicked out of the box. Recovered by Fitzgerald. Pass out Torres. Torres crosses into the box. Popped up in the air, off the head of Friedman, off the head of a defender, and out of the box again, and now booted way upfield by, I want to say, Harmon. Chased down by Littman. Littman sends it out far side to Speicher. Speicher looking around, lifts a pass into traffic. It's cut off and kicked away by Zambotti. Kicked back by Brookline. Chased down on the near side by number 9. Pass it up to number 8. So from Matthias Moore up to Xavier Meir. Ball's lost near side. Moore throws it into Meir. Pass back to Zambotti. Torres in pursuit as the pass goes back to Sagaye. Sagaye's got to get that away fast and just barely before Torres could knock it away. Off a couple of heads, it goes back to Lockwood. Lockwood turns around and sends it back to Littman. Littman up to Ames. Outside to Speicher. Speicher surveys. Got some space to work. Pass it across. And now a pass forward to Torres. Outside Goldberg. Goldberg back up to Torres. Torres turns around. Swarmed by a couple defenders. And it looks like it was taken away by Zambotti. Pass up. Couldn't get to Buibia, but does draw the foul as too physical on the defense was Fitzgerald. For Brookline, number 18, Josh Bittner has checked in. As Cambridge sets up for a free kick here. Zambotti, high kick. Deflects down, corralled, shot blocked by Speicher. And Speicher clears it out off the attempted shot from number 21, Angel Nunez. Brookline going up, far side disrupted, stolen away. Pass goes up to Harmon, slide tackle from behind. And we saw two slide tackles, one from each team. Neither one got called for a foul. The officials letting him play here. Off the throw-in, it's to Ames. Ames sending a leader a little too far for Friedman, and it's scooped up by Sagaye. Sagaye rolls it into Zambotti. Now gives it back to Michael Brown. Out, far side. And lost up the line as the pass was errant. I think that pass came from, Loud, who's now playing on the far side wing back. Some subs checking in for Brookline among those who have come in now. Number 11, Koya Nicoli. Number 14, Jeffrey Dong back in the game. Pass back to Littman. His pass disrupted, but it does get out to Bittner. Bittner looking, pass forward, Torres. Torres surveying. Lost it off his foot briefly, but recovers, gets back to Bittner. Bittner trying to carve out some space. His pass blocked by Moore. It goes out of bounds. Stays Brookline ball. Throw in deflected back to Bittner. Pressure coming from Baraglia, but Bittner stays with it. His pass again blocked by Moore, stays in bounds as they are scrumming for that ball, and I think they call Bittner for going under Moore's legs on the attempted slide tackle there. And it's a free kick for Cambridge. Michael Brown gives it over to Sagaye. Sagaye sends it up to Loud. Loud up the line to Nunez. Nunez tried to send it to Harmon, cut off, taken back by Dong. Disrupted, recovered by Lockwood, and a foul called on Brookline as they said the defender had the inside position and Dong was too physical in boxing him out. Michael Brown boots it upfield. Off a hop, it's taken by Smagula. Smagula punts it. Downed by Torres. Torres kicks a leader. Nicoli was offsides. And it'll be another free kick for the Falcons. Still no score here in the first half. Both teams have had their fair share of offensive chances. I would say Brookline is probably winning the possession game by just a bit so far here in the first half. Long kick goes off the head of Nunez, down by Buibia. Over to Harmon, back to Buibia, disrupted, trying to keep the ball, and he does. Buibia dribbling, sends pass, deflects through, a chance for Baraglia. Baraglia trying to fight around the defense. And it's knocked out of bounds, and it's knocked out of bounds by Brookline. That's going to be First corner kick of the day for Cambridge. Here comes the kick, and it's too high. Chase after it down the near side, and it's won by Nicoli. Nicoli couldn't muscle through, but the shot goes wide as number 10, Alejandro Stefan Rojas Pratt, couldn't quite get a clean kick on it. Off the goal kick, Brookline sends it up far side, disrupted, stolen away from Speicher. Buibia touches it towards the middle to Rojas Pratt, tries to pass back, intercepted by Lockwood. Touch pass out to Nicoli, sends a long kick up. It's going to be chased down by Michael Brown, sent back to Sagaye, who launches it towards midfield. Up in the air, battle for the ball, and it's passed back from number 30, Emmanuel Alemu. Gets back to Loud. Loud up the line, lost out of bounds, Brookline ball. Among the Brookline players that have checked in is number 15, Santi Sierra. As a couple other players checking in, Wally Lawrence back into the game, as is Travis Applebaum. Brookline throw in off ahead into open space, corralled by Dong. Pass near side, Bittner. Bittner looking, turns around, sends it back to Applebaum. Applebaum across to Lippman. Lippman, far side. It's sent back to Lippman. Now back out to Applebaum. Applebaum looking, sends it up the middle. Bounces past his target, and Loud is going to cut that one off. Send it back to Sagaye. Dorvillier in pursuit, but Sagaye gets that out cleanly to Tien Crawley. Now a couple passes, winds up with Harmon. Harmon tries to race it forward, but the ball was too far out in front of him, cut off by Lippman. Pass goes up to Sierra. Sierra taps it back to number 4, Fitzgerald, who's now playing on the far side wing. Couple passes across, gets out to Bittner. Bittner sends it to the middle to Lawrence. Now back to Applebaum. Applebaum near side to Lawrence. Lawrence forward to number 9, pass up for Bittner, who's cut up on offense. Now out to Lawrence, attempted crosser, blocked and cleared out by Zambodi. Number 9 for Brookline is Maury Shende Ruiz, who almost set up a nice pass there, but just a little too far. Bittner throws it in off the head of Zambodi, out of bounds. Lawrence throws it in towards the box, deflected down, cleared out, blocked by Ames, over to Bittner. Bittner out to Lawrence. Lawrence, a crosser from the corner, too high, flies out of bounds. Sagaye with a goal kick, sends it out far side, pass intercepted by Dorvillier. Broken up by Harmon, it goes back to Lippman, touches it out to Fitzgerald, Fitzgerald to the middle to Ames. Taps it forward for Lawrence, who kicks it back to Applebaum. Applebaum sends it over to Bittner. Bittner to Dong. Dong sends it back a little wide, and Littman's got to go back to get it. Littman up to Dong, back to Applebaum. Now near side Bittner. Over to Dong, forward, goes off somebody, and it's Brookline ball. Lawrence setting up to throw it in. Dorvillier kept it in bounds. Bouncing, it's taken by Lawrence. Lawrence launches one, and it's just over the bar. Wally Lawrence has had a couple of shots from some unorthodox positions that make you think that there's no way it's even going to be close. And yet they ended up being much closer than you would have expected. But no score as of yet, still all goose eggs on the board. Zambodi up the near side, gets a pass, almost through, but Applebaum cuts it off. Loud was chasing after that one. Now he throws it in. Rojas Pratt sends a pass too far. Intended for number 7, Jeremy Friedman-Wellish. Smagula gives it to Applebaum off the goal kick. Applebaum boots it upfield, looking for Dorvillier, but it deflects off Michael Brown, controlled by Loud. Loud pursued by Dorvillier, and he takes it away. The freshman making his presence known here in the first half as Brookline resets with the ball. Littman out far side, Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald cuts towards the middle. Now a pass up the middle for Shende Ruiz. He taps it forward, cut off by Tien Crawley, and it's kept in bounds by Harmon. Harmon pass up to Alemu. Now back to Tien Crawley. Now up to, I think, Nunez. Nunez pass to the middle, intercepted by Dong, but knocked away, recovered by Lawrence, and passed back to Applebaum. Applebaum winds and boots one across towards the far side, deflects back to Sierra. Sierra to the middle, deflects back to Ames. Now out to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald up to Ames. Ames could not corral it. It's taken away by Friedman-Wellish, but his pass intercepted back by Ames. Sent across to Bittner. Bittner. Pass up to Dorvillier, back to Lawrence, who somehow keeps it away from Rojas Pratt as Brookline now works it along the back line. Littman goes back to Littman, now over to Applebaum. Applebaum out to Bittner. Bittner sends it up the line. Dorvillier chasing it, Zambodi in pursuit. Knocked out of bounds, and Zambodi gets the favorable deflection. It'll be Cambridge ball. Throw in off the head of Lawrence. And Lawrence swoops in and boots it all the way back to his own goalie. And Smagula boots it across midfield. Sierra trying to move with it, working against Nunez, stops, try to juke, now trying to muscle his way through, does push it forward, but nowhere to go with it as it rolls out the back end, and it'll be a goal kick. Sorry about that. Flurry of substitutions in on both ends. Reminder, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental. You can find their information down in the description section down below. Sagaye with the goal kick off the head of Lockwood. Bouncing along, controlled by Friedman. Pass gets through, a chance, a shot just barely blocked by Michael Brown, as that looked like a golden opportunity for number 6, Kai Putney. Sagaye rifles it up to Nunez. Nunez racing up the far sideline. Cuts back, pass across the middle is controlled by Baraglia. Baraglia moving with it. Got a bit of an opening, but swooping in and taking it away was Littman. Littman sends one forward to Lawrence. Now Lawrence kicks a leader. Cut off again by Michael Brown. He's made a few clutch defensive plays today, and Lawrence is going to be called for the over-the-back foul there. Michael Brown sends it across to Tien Crawley. Up the line to Nunez. Nunez sends a leader forward. And Buibia trying to corral it, sends a crosser, but nobody there to knock it in as it's cleared out now by Bittner. Throw in. Back to Zambodi. Zambodi further back to Michael Brown. Boots it towards the box. Off the head of Littman to the side, and it's chased down by Applebaum, who boots it upfield. Almost knocked down. It is controlled by Reese Brown. Sends it back to Loud. Back up to Reese Brown. Towards the middle. Intercepted by Lockwood. Tap back to Bittner. Bittner turns around. Boots it upfield. Deflected by Lawrence. But Zambodi boots it up in the air. Nunez had it for a second, but it's knocked away. And a physical takeaway by Tien Crawley sends one forward, but good job boxing out by Littman, and it's taken by Smagula. Smagula punts it off the head of Ames, bouncing forward. Friedman tracing after it, but Tien Crawley gets there first, kicks it back to Sagaye, sends it up to Michael Brown, and outside to Nunez. Towards the middle. A pass intercepted by Goldberg. Goldberg dribbling up, passes forward to Lawrence. Lawrence, a crosser, Ames, a shot! Just over the bar. Sagaye had that read pretty well. Really the only way for that to go over his outstretched hand was for it to go over the crossbar. That said, a beautiful connection between Lawrence and Ames, the two of Brookline's co-captains this year. As this one is kicked up the field, or at least Ames, the co-captain this year. Now this is Baraglia sending a pass near side. Nice slide tackle by Bittner to knock that one away from number 17, Anas Ediana. Now back to Zambodi, sends it forward. The through pass just missed everybody, and it's taken by Littman. Couple passes now, Lockwood. Lockwood boots it up for Lawrence. Lawrence kicks it up, knocked back by Michael Brown, up to Reese Brown. Touches it out to, I think, number 8. Now towards the outside. That's Moore, whose pass is deflected out of bounds. It'll stay Cambridge ball. Cambridge really starting to apply some more pressure late here in the first half. Still no score from anybody, as Meir sends one forward to Reese Brown. Pass deflected by Littman, and a save by Smagula off an unfortunate deflection that almost turned into an own goal. Smagula punts it, and they call Lawrence for grabbing the body there. Has got a little too physical, trying to get some good position against Zambodi. Zambodi's free kick goes up to Reese Brown, disrupted from behind by Ames, but Goldberg couldn't keep control of it. And Reese Brown trying to keep it in bounds. He does, just barely. Now sends it over to Muir. His pass intercepted by Ames. Ames cutting around a defender. Ames, extra pass. Friedman broken up by Moore, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be a corner for Brookline. You know, that's the tough thing of it in soccer is sometimes you want to make that extra pass to get a cleaner look, and then sometimes that extra pass just means one more chance for things to bounce wrong for you. Regardless, good get-back speed by Matthias Moore to disrupt that attempted pass there. It'll be a corner kick for the Warriors here. They send one in low. Pass goes back. That pass disrupted, but it does get to Friedman. Friedman, a sliding pass up and a shot. Not enough juice on it, and it's taken off the bounce by Sagaye. Putney was trying to get a good position there, but couldn't. He was losing his balance and couldn't get a proper plant leg down to get a good shot off. Friedman steals the ball, goes up the far sideline, past the middle, broken up by Michael Brown, flies out of bounds. It'll be Brookline ball. But what a half that the center backs, particularly Michael Brown and Jonah Lippman, have been having to prevent a lot of offensive pushes. Friedman breaks through, touch pass over to Nicoli, sends it back. Lockwood up the far side. I think that's Speicher sending it back to Friedman. Further back, Lippman. Lippman up to Lockwood, out to Fitzgerald, who's back on the near side wing. Pass up to Goldberg. Goldberg looking around. Pass across the middle to Lippman. Lippman turning around. Pass back out to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald winds, kicks one across out to the far side. Over Speicher's head, but he somehow keeps it in bounds. Taken away by the Falcons. Pass went up to Buibia. Now they're passing it around. It's disrupted a couple times, and Fitzgerald sends it forward for Torres. Torres fires, walled off by Michael Brown again. Littman kicks it back forward. Bouncing, Goldberg downs it. Goldberg fires, blocked by Michael Brown again. Michael Brown has been an absolute wall along that back line for the Falcons. His number of blocked shots, if we kept track of that stat, it'd probably look more like a hockey defender rather than a soccer defender. Setting up in the corner is Goldberg. He is flanked by Friedman. Boots it towards the box, bouncing along, corralled by Lockwood, touches it over to Nicoli, sends it back to Littman. Littman winds, fires, diving save by Sagaye. Moore sends it out the sideline to prevent the corner kick, and it'll be a throw-in for Brookline deep in the Cambridge end. Or no, they say he didn't get it out to the sideline. Wait, did they just whistle a timeout, or is that the half? Okay. All right. What? That's good to know. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so I do believe it is halftime now. And assuming that it is, then we'll be able to say that at the break there is no score between Brookline and Cambridge. A reminder that this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate, personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103. or go online to eashdentall.com to find out more. And you can find all that information in the description section down below. But for now, it was a timeout, not halftime. So we are going to set up for the corner kick as they ruled that Moore wasn't able to get it out before it crossed the back line. So Brookline going to have another corner chance. It's one of the obstacles when you've got a soccer field where there's no scoreboard that displays the time remaining is you sometimes end up questioning like, oh, was that a timeout or the end of the half? This one flies in and it's caught by Sagaye. Pretty quality corner kick from Goldberg that time, but nobody able to get in position as Sagaye makes a nice catch out of the air. Punts it as it bounces across. Gets up to Friedman Wellish. Pass out near side to Ediani. And it's knocked out of bounds by Speicher. Ediani throws it into Mir. Mir up to Friedman Wellish. His pass a little wide as he sent it back. Knocked away by Dong. Bittner tried to touch pass, intercepted by Reese Brown. Pass over to Mir. Mir racing upfield. Mir swarmed by defenders, and it's taken away by Lockwood. Lockwood boots it up, downed by Zambodi. Pass up to Reese Brown. Now back to Buibia. Buibia looking around. Pass up to Ediani. Ediani boots one towards the middle, bouncing along. The attempted kick by Reese Brown was whiffed, and it's cleared out by Goldberg. And there's the double whistle for halftime. Always much easier to tell when people stop right in the middle of play that it's definitely halftime. So at the halfway mark, no score as of yet. A couple of scary chances on both sides, but nothing getting past the defenses as of yet. As we go into the halftime break, I remind you again, this broadcast brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate, personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. And you can find all that information in the description section down below, as well as some other information. That includes a link to the official Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club. The Friends of BHS Soccer support all 6 Brookline High soccer teams, boys and girls, varsity, JV, and freshmen. So if you would like to show your support, you can donate some money through their Venmo in the link down in the description. And also down in the description, we have our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Food Pantry. The Brookline Food Pantry provides groceries to Brookline residents in need of food assistance. The pantry has been serving an average of 650 households each week, and they are always looking for more people willing to lend a hand, whether through monetary donations, direct food donations, or volunteers in the pantry. Food donations can be made at United Parish at 210 Harvard Street on Wednesdays and Fridays from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Monetary donations can be made online at the Food Pantry's website, brooklinefoodpantry.org. Go online or call 617-800-5339 for more information about how you can volunteer with the pantry and help feed your community. Once again, brooklinefoodpantry.org or call 617-800-5339. And all of those links that I just mentioned are in the description section down below. But for now, as it is halftime, I'm going to take a break and mute the mic, but I will be back with the second half of this ball game. Stay tuned. Hello again, back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second half of today's high school varsity boys soccer contest between the Brookline High Warriors and the Cambridge Rindge and Latin School Falcons. No score through the first half of play as we get ready to get this one going. Both teams got a couple of scary chances to score in that first half, but nothing too scary. I think the closest chance we saw from either side was one shot that was taken by Wally Lawrence, forced Sagaye to lay out for a save. I think we saw a couple of times where the Cambridge netminder Eyasu Sagaye had to lay out a bit, and their center back Michael Brown had to deflect quite a few shots. But soccer is one of those sports where it doesn't really matter necessarily who has the edge in terms of possession, in terms of shots, because all you need is for your defense to stay hot and to get one lucky bounce, and you can win a game. So we'll see what we get here in the second half as we are underway. Cambridge with the opening possession. Pass goes up to Buibia, sent back. Couple of passes back, and now it's stolen away by Jeffrey Dong, who gets tripped up, and a whistle is blown. That's probably going to be a free kick for Brookline. Good hustle by number 14, Jeffrey Dong, on that one. Oh, there's the kicker. Sent up in the air, and it's headed away. Good header by Shentao Tien Crawley, as Wally Lawrence was crashing towards that area there looking for a header. Instead, he'll take the throw in from Ben Speicher, and he launches one out to the far side to Ryan Goldberg, who just had to head it to keep it from going out of bounds. Taken away now by Andre Baraglia. Sent back now to Zambodi, sent up to Reese Brown. Further up to, I believe, Brennan Loud. His pass deflected but recovered by Baraglia, but stolen away now by Brookline. Pass goes forward. That is Dong cutting towards the middle. Passes back to Nate Lockwood. Pass across to Speicher now. Speicher lifts one high. Off ahead towards the box. Off another head forward, but nobody there to crash for it. And it's scooped up by Sagaye. Rolls it into Zambodi. Now pass intercepted by Goldberg. Goldberg kicks it forward off the body of Dorvillier. And Dorvillier takes it off the deflection, turns around, looking. Pass across. Finds a target. The shot flies. Saved by Sagaye as he chased that one down coast to coast. As I believe Goldberg went for the lefty kick there. Went from the far side to the near side post. But Sagaye tracked it well, looking like an outfielder in baseball the way he chased down that save. Punts this one across midfield off the head of Travis Applebaum. Controlled by Baraglia, disrupted by Goldberg, goes back to Applebaum. Pass out far side to Jack Fitzgerald, who boots it upfield. Leading kick, Dong chasing after it. Dong appears to have it controlled. Defended by Zambodi in the corner. Escapes out of the corner. Pass goes back. Dribbling with it now, I believe, is Goldberg. Goldberg tried a shot. It was blocked. Cleared out by Harmon. Recovered by Jonah Littman. Leaves it for Ben Speicher. Pass across. Misses Goldberg, but taken by Dong. Dong passes it back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald boots one towards the box. Off the head of one of the Falcons' defenders. Bouncing along, it's taken by Harmon. Harmon racing up across midfield, passes up to Buibia. Buibia looking. Pass back to Reese Brown. His pass knocked away by Grady Ames. Now booted out by Applebaum. Gets up to Dorvillier. Dorvillier, whoa, ran out of room on the near sideline. And they say it was deflected out by the Cambridge defense. Or no, they say that it was a foul. And so a free kick is passed over to Lockwood. Out far side to Goldberg. Goldberg gets around one. Pass forward, misses Ames. Booted away by Angel Nunez. Tapped forward by Littman. Now Speicher to Lockwood. Back to Speicher. Speicher weaving through. Pass across to an open Ames. Ames winds, fires, blocked. Recovered by Speicher. Speicher couldn't control it cleanly. Knocked away by Reese Brown. Out to Lawrence. Lawrence taps one for Dorvillier. Disrupted by Harmon and knocked out of bounds. And it'll stay Brookline ball. Throw-in is thrown towards the box, off ahead and out, and Harmon boots it away. Off the head of Littman, into open space where it's taken by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald up the line to Goldberg, tries a touch pass, intercepted. Taken by Reese Brown, his pass intercepted by Speicher. Speicher boots it for Dorvillier, and just a little too far, taken by Sagaye. Now this pass intercepted by Lockwood, past the outside Goldberg, forward, knocked down, I think, by Zambodi, and cleared away again by Cambridge. Baraglia didn't have anywhere to go, cut off by Goldberg, and it's recovered by Littman. Littman up to Lockwood, out to Lawrence. Lawrence dribbling up with it. Lawrence lost his balance, and it's taken away by Xavier Meir. Meir pursued from behind, knocked loose. Buibia recovered it for a second, knocked loose. Buibia recovers again, pass out far side. Going up the far sideline, a pass broken up but recovered by Buibia. He launches one way high and over the bar, and this will be a goal kick for Brookline. Off the goal kick, Littman passes to Lawrence, back to Speicher. Speicher across, taken by Smagula, boots it away. Zambodi touches it out, far side to Loud, who boots it up in the air. Now off the head of Goldberg, off the head of Loud, off the foot of Goldberg, deflected down and taken. And Ames is almost off to the races, but now it's recovered by Dorvillier, who goes for a spin. Dorvillier weaves around. Dorvillier! Oh, broken up by Nunez at the last second. It's going to be a corner kick now for Brookline. The freshman, Danmarth Dorvillier, making his presence known in his first career game at Skyline. Goldberg setting up to send this one in. Floats in and caught by Sagaye. Rolls it upfield. Racing up with it is Michael Brown, who passed it forward for Buibia. Buibia got tangled up with the defense, and I think they're going to call the foul, and that's going to get a PK chance for the Falcons. The surprise move of Michael Brown, the center back, racing upfield off the roll-in pass from Sagaye, counterattacking off of the corner kick. And then he sent one up to Buibia, who got tangled up with Applebaum. So this, right now, could be the single biggest moment of this game. Michael Brown setting up to take the penalty shot against goalie Alex Smagula. Here it comes. He missed it! He missed it high! He had Smagula fooled with the hesitation move, and he just golfed it over the crossbar. We are still scoreless here at Skyline. Brookline gets a break. Can they take advantage? Speicher dribbling with it. Pass blocked by Mir, but Speicher recovers. Pass it back to Littman. Littman boots it up. And too far, it's going to be taken off a couple hops by Sagaye. Sagaye rolls it in. Kicked up by Tien Crawley, but off the deflection, it's knocked away by Dong. Couple of deflections, still fighting for the ball. Dong corrals it, sends it back to Littman. Littman winds and kicks. Far side, downed by Goldberg, controlled now by Fitzgerald. Pass up for Dorvillier. Dorvillier races after it. It's knocked out of bounds by Zambodi. Throw in, off the head of Lockwood, but caught by Sagaye. Still no score here at Skyline Park as Sagaye rifles that one in. It goes off the head of Lawrence, but booted back by Tien Crawley. Now kicked to the middle by Speicher. Ames sends it backwards and chases after it himself. Touch pass out to Fitzgerald, back to Ames. Ames takes off running with it. Down the far side, and it's taken away, but immediately intercepted by Lockwood. Lockwood sends it back. Littman. Pass back up the middle. Lockwood. Back to Applebaum. Applebaum. Far side. Stolen away. And knocked back. And recovered by Dorvillier. Dorvillier trying to race around his defender. Crosser coming in. Out of reach of Sagaye, but no one was there to crash in. Or did Sagaye get a piece of that one? I think they're calling corner kick. I think that shot might have actually been on net, and Sagaye knocked it away. Looks like they got Lawrence heading to the corner. Boy, even with our elevated position, it's a bit tough to see, but you can just barely make him out in the corner, setting up to take this corner kick. The kick flies in, deflected down, it bounced past everybody. Lockwood chased it down, passed it back to Goldberg. Forward again, Lockwood. Lockwood looking around, passes it back to Goldberg. Goldberg across to the middle, Speicher. Speicher trying to control it, pass for Torres. Torres out to Lawrence. Lawrence moving into the box, trying to cut around, swarmed by defenders. Barely keeps possession, it's touched back out to Torres, but knocked away from Torres by Mir. And a substitution coming in for Brookline. I think that's Josh Bittner coming in replacing Ryan Goldberg. Speicher throws it in. It's taken immediately by Baraglia. Buibia touches back to Reese Brown, who now kicks the leader for Buibia. Chase it down. Trying to look around, cutting across the middle. Pass across to, I think, Loud. Loud pass for Reese Brown, tries a give and go to Loud. Loud sends a crosser into the box, caught by Smagula. Smagula looking around, rifles one out to the near side to Lawrence. Lawrence boots it up the line. It's a race to the ball won by Tien Crawley. Tien Crawley battling with Torres, and Torres takes it away. Torres trying to keep his balance, knocked out of bounds by Tien Crawley. And it'll be Brookline ball. Still no score here in the second half. Oh, they called a foul, and so Lawrence free kicks it to the middle. Torres shot blocked. Another shot block by the Falcons. Harmon lost his footing, stolen away. Torres sends it forward too far. Slide kick away by Tien Crawley, but knocked back up. Gets to Nicoli. Nicoli. Pass back Lockwood. Cross to Bittner. Bittner Dribbling up. Weaving around. Pass. Gets to Nicole. Nicole tries to touch one through. Cut off by Tien Crawley. Recovered by Speicher. Speicher hit from behind by Buibia. And after a couple deflections, it is Reese Brown with the ball. They do call the foul on Buibia for that one. They were waiting for possession to be definitively established. So a bit of a delayed penalty there, and Brookline will get the free kick. Bit of a gust of wind blowing up here on the hill at Skyline Park. Ben Speicher lining up to take the free kick for Brookline. It's close enough for this to potentially be a shot from Speicher. We'll see what they decide to do from this angle. From the straight-on angle, you would expect a shot, but we'll see. No, it's a pass. It's a pass to Goldberg. Goldberg winds, fires, and it's saved by Sagaye, but not cleanly. Oh, but he manages to take it away from a crashing Grady Ames. He had to dribble that ball like a basketball to keep it away from Ames on that one, as he rifles this one up to Loud. Loud pass back, now booted upfield by, I think, Michael Brown. A race to the ball, headed back to Smagula. Oh! Hard collision with the goalie. Brookline wanted some kind of call, but they got nothing as Smagula punts that one, downed by Tien Crawley. Off the deflection, it's recovered by Mir. Passed back to Zambodi. Zambodi, far side to Loud. Back to Zambodi. Spins off one. Cut off by Nicoli. Friedman trying to take it away, but Zambodi maintains possession. Couldn't get a clean pass away, but they call the foul on Brookline. Got an injured Brookline player down. But he is up and walking around. He's okay. Michael Brown with the free kick off the head of Littman and out the near side, out of bounds. Some subs checking in. The wind really starting to gust out here. There's a chance of rain later tonight, and this wind does seem like a bit of a prelude as the sky getting a little dark this afternoon. They're setting up to have a throw-in into the box. Throw-in comes in a little low, but bounces along, and it's booted out by Lockwood. What did they call? What do they call, a high kick or something? What happened? Was it a handball? Did someone's hand touch it? And most importantly, was that in the box? Is Cambridge going to get another PK chance? Or is this just outside of it? This is just outside of the box. Oh, this is going to be a wild angle to take a free kick from. It's just outside the box, about an inch out of the line. Buibia setting up to take the free kick with almost no angle to kick from, and he launches it high. I will say, I know how easy it is to be frustrated as you got that close, but frankly, when you have a free kick that close and the defenders are allowed to wall up, you've got no angle. You haven't got much of a shot for anything. That one kicked out of bounds by Tien Crawley. More subs coming in for Brookline. It looks like Dong, Shende Ruiz, and Dorvillier are back in the game. Throw in, deflected down by Ames, chased down by Dorvillier. Pass kept in by Speicher, gets out to Lockwood, sent back to Littman. Littman forward to Speicher. Speicher out to Dorvillier, who's cutting across the middle. Fires a shot, saved by Sagaye. Might have gone a little wide of the post, but Sagaye made sure it wasn't a what if with a nice catch there. Pass back a little dangerous, but Sagaye boots it away. Tapped forward by Buibia, gets out to Loud. Loud battling along the far sideline, knocked out of bounds, Cambridge ball. Throw in, deflects. And I think that's going to be is that a goal kick or a corner? I think they signaled goal kick. So I think, or is it a corner? I'm very confused. Is it a free kick from that spot? Oh my gosh, it's a free kick from that spot just outside of the back line. This might as well just be a short corner kick. Cambridge getting all kinds of weird angles for their free kicks in the past few minutes. This one curving in too far as it's knocked out of the box, but chased down. Tapped back to Michael Brown, who boots it back towards the box. Swooping in to take it away was Alex Magula. Punts it upfield, bouncing, and Michael Brown sends it back to Sagaye. Boots it back across midfield, off ahead towards the Brookline end, and Smagula charges out to kick it away, goes right to Nunez. Nunez, pass through, offsides. Duressa Alemo was crashing towards the box, but the Brookline defense wasn't following him, so he got out ahead of them and was called for offsides. Dorvillier gets around his defender, trying to get around another, but cut off and deflected back. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be Brookline ball. Or no, it'll be Cambridge ball. Nunez throws it in, chased down by Littman, sent back to Smagula. Smagula boots it across midfield. Shende Ruiz dribbling. Looking. Gets around a defender, but the help comes in and Michael Brown knocks it away. Little physical, and Brown is down. Might be hurt, but he might be getting back up. Either way, a rush for Buibia. Lost it in his own feet. Pass out. Alemo trying to charge in, but lost control of the ball, had to chase it down. Knocked out of bounds by Littman, and that will be a corner kick for the Falcons. Oh, they go for a quick one into Harmon. Harmon charges into the box, kick walled off by Nicoli. Alemo to Harmon. Harmon trying to gain the edge, blocked by Littman, and it's going to be another corner kick for the Falcons. Still all goose eggs on the scoreboard out here at Skyline Park, but Cambridge applying some pressure and trying to change that. This is Xavier Meir setting up to take the corner for the Falcons. This one caught out of the air by Smagula. punts it towards midfield. And they call a penalty against Zambodi for grabbing too hard on Dorvillier when battling for that ball. The pass immediately knocked back but lost out of bounds by Cambridge. It'll be Brookline ball. Throw in, deflected forward by Dong, but nobody there. It's taken by Michael Brown and cleared out. Off the deflection, it's controlled by Buibia. Double teamed, knocked loose, taken by Ames, pass up. Dribbling through now, and tripped up was Lawrence. That'll draw a free kick for Brookline. So Brookline now with a chance to apply some offensive pressure. Setting up for the free kick. I think it's Goldberg, but I'm not sure. Kick from Goldberg comes in medium height, deflected down. Reese Brown heads it out. Another deflection. Alemo takes it. Working up the far sideline, runs out of room, and it's Brookline ball. Quick throw in, Friedman kicks it forward. Cut off by Michael Brown again. Recovered by Zambodi. Zambodi boots it upfield off the head of, I think, Applebaum. Now a pass from Nicoli misses Speicher, but he is just barely able to keep it in bounds. Pass back, Smagula. Smagula kicks it up. Blocked by Nunez. Goes up to Harmon. Harmon trying to race through. Harmon still at the ball. Crosser. Flies too far, and it's booted out by Nicoli. Lawrence boots it upfield, knocked back by Michael Brown. Scrum for the ball. It's kicked away by Michael Brown again, kicked back by Applebaum. And off that one, it was tapped forward by Friedman, but now Michael Brown gets there first and sends it back to Sagaye, who boots it away. Speicher taps it back to Littman, who sends it further back to Smagula. Smagula calmly boots it away, far side, off Goldberg's head. Nicoli could not quite keep it in, and it'll be a throw-in for Cambridge. Subs checking in on both sides. Still no score. Throw in. Eddie tapped forward by Alemu, but could not be chased down. Smagula punts it, downed by Reese Brown. A whistle is blown. Oh, is Cambridge somehow offsides? Not sure what happened there, but Brookline's getting a free kick. Smagula sends it out far side to Goldberg. Goldberg boots it upfield. Zambodi downs it, but not cleanly, and Ames in pursuit recovers it, trying to gain the edge against Zambodi. Still trying to dribble around Zambodi, not letting him have any clean opportunities to break through. Help arrives and walls off Ames's kick. Still in bounds. Friedman sends one high, too high, and out of reach. And the box out job works as it bounces out of bounds. It'll be Cambridge ball. Throw in up the line to Alemu. Knocked loose by Torres, but goes out of bounds. Quick throw in back to Alemu. Pass to the middle, finds Mir. Mir boots one. Chased down by Goldberg, kicked away. Out of bounds. Cambridge ball. Quick throw-in goes off the head of, actually I think that's Bittner, not Applebaum, excuse me. 18 and 19, so hard to tell apart. Another throw-in for Cambridge, flies towards the box, bouncing along, down, shot saved by Smagula. Nunez went for the jumping kick as the Brookline defense scarily left that one open for a kick, but couldn't get a powerful enough one there, and Smagula reacted well. Now a pass out to Nunez. Nunez gets it back to Tien Crawley. Up the middle to Alemu. Alemu sends it forward, misses on that pass to Alemo. Now Smagula punts it again. Oh, that one hurts. That went hard right off of Smagula's foot, off of Nunez's foot, and off of Dong's face. And he is down, and they're going to make him come out to make sure he doesn't have a concussion after that one. Dong is back up and walking off on his own power. Not having any balance issues or anything, so at the very least, this isn't a Tua Tagovailoa situation or anything like that. You look on the bright side, and hopefully, it's not anything too serious. They're going to take him out of the game. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up having to miss a game or two for concussion protocol, the way he was holding his head after that play. But I'm not a doctor, so don't take my word for it. We'll just wait and see what happens. Off the drop ball, Lawrence boots it up, deflected down, but ultimately controlled by Sagaye. Sagaye throws one out, stolen away by Torres. Torres, pass misses, goes all the way back. Chased down by Littman. Littman over to Speicher, to Lockwood. Lockwood touches it out to Speicher. Speicher couldn't fend off the pressure from Baraglia, but he takes it back. Pass up misses, taken by Nunez. Nunez gets tripped up by Ames, and they call him for that one. It'll be a free kick for Cambridge. Tien Crawley setting up to take this one. Boots it. It's over the top. It always gets so weird when it hits the outside of the net, because it's like, as a fan, you look for it to, tickle the twine and make the net move. You think, oh, that means a goal. If it's close enough, you might get confused and not realize it hit on the outside of it. Smagula, the goal kick knocked down, booted forward by Goldberg. Zambodi recovers, but a double team pressuring him, and it's taken away by Brookline. Tapped forward for Torres. Torres dribbling it into the corner. Passes it back to, I think that's Santi Sierra. Sierra's pass to Ames. Now another one through. That pass, nobody was there for it, and it's stolen away by Mir. His kick upfield stopped by Littman. As Brookline resets, pass up the middle, finds Ames. Ames kicks a leader down the far side, and Zambodi boots it out of bounds. Oh, I think he sliced that one and it went out the back end. This is going to be a corner kick for Brookline. Prime opportunity here. Kick, catches the headwind, deflects in the box, down. Lockwood try to kick walled, and it's cleared out of the box. Torres taps it back to Speicher as Brookline keeps control, but they have to reset. Littman now with the ball. Littman's pass intercepted by Loud. Couple passes back to Loud. Now over to Baraglia. Now over to Harmon. Harmon, pass out to Nunez near side. Nunez charging in, gets around Speicher. Shot off the outside of the net. He had a limited angle there, and Smagula knew to cover the near side post in that situation. Smagula boots this one in the air. Off the head of Nunez, going the wrong way, and that's out of bounds, Brookline ball. More subs coming in. Looks like Friedman and Dong back into the game, replacing Torres and Sierra. Throw in. Chased down by Ames, but tight defense, not a lot of room. Knocked out of bounds, another throw in. Brookline packing the box for the incoming throw in from Lawrence. Flies in, deflected down. Friedman taps it out. Lawrence tried to fire a shot, but didn't have the angle. Sends it wide. Sagaye, near side, couple deflections. Lawrence taps it up to Dorvillier, back to Lawrence, popped up in the air as it catches the wind. And now Reese Brown trying to clear it away. Now Nunez clears it away, bounces out of bounds. The wind really starting to play a factor as all these balls getting popped in the air are catching the wind and changing their trajectory. It's really throwing off both teams here. Speicher throws it in, off the head of Nunez, out of bounds. Lawrence looking to throw it in. Throw in, Dorvillier. Battling in the corner, I couldn't really see what happened. Looks like it went out the back line off Brookline, and it's going to be a goal kick. Sagaye bouncing along. Bittner taps it back. Brookline takes control. Pass to Lockwood. Lockwood could not fake out Harmon as he takes that one away. Harmon dribbling. Pass out to Nunez. Nunez cutting towards the middle. Forced the ball through, but it's cut off by Littman, and now Littman off and running with it. Littman with some space, sends pass up for Dorvillier, and now it's taken by Friedman. Friedman off to the races with it. Friedman cut off by Brown, recovered by Dorvillier, touchback, cut off by Mir, knocked out of bounds. Lawrence throws it in, off ahead, booted away by Nunez. This one flying all the way back to the Brookline end. Oh, it's tapped away. Buibia's got a wide open look, but Smagula putting his body on the line to dive in on that one. Buibia didn't have an angle. He was trying desperately to dribble in so he could have a shooting angle, and Smagula said, not if I can help it. Dove in and got his hands on that ball. And now Brookline trying to work it upfield. Ames, quick throw into Dorvillier. Dribbling, pass goes through the legs. Friedman crashing, but it's too far. Sagaye scoops it up. Chucks it up to Harmon. Harmon dribbling. Tries to kick it forward to himself, but Lippman cuts it off. But he steals it away from Lippman. Now Harmon crashing into the box, but his kick was blocked by Speicher and out of bounds. Harmon was trying to look for somewhere to go with the pass. Again, a limited angle so close to the back line. And Speicher was able to block the pass attempt. Cambridge packing the box for the throw-in. Ball flies in, off ahead, out of bounds. That'll be a corner now. Setting up to take this corner kick is number 8, Javier Mir. Kicks it. Down right in front, and Smagula falls on it and recovers it. He's been making a few clutch plays here late in the second half. As this ball is taken back briefly, but now booted out of bounds, or not? Yes, out of bounds. Off the foot of Lawrence, and that'll be a throw-in for the Falcons. Tien Crawley throws it into Baraglia. Both teams trying to be the one to break the scoreless tie. Ames poked that one away, but it's kicked back by Zambodi. Now Goldberg slices that one. It's headed back, and it's taken by Baraglia. Baraglia sends a leader, but nobody there. Now Smagula punts it. It's deflected, taken by Baraglia. Baraglia racing in again, smothered by the defense. And I think they called offsides on Buibia. I think the problem was Buibia was so frustrated with the missed pass the previous push that because they got another offensive chance so quickly, he was still behind the defenders when they got the ball back. Dorvillier, pass, outside, Lawrence. Lawrence cuts back, kick towards the middle, off the head of Michael Brown. And there is your triple whistle. And we finish with no score on either side. Final score, Brookline 0, Cambridge Rindge 0. And so it will be the ambivalent feeling of a tie at the end of it all. It's always such a weird feeling after all of the effort and all of the action that you see in a game for it to just come away with no points on the board. But one thing you got to do, you got to give hats off to both teams' defensive play. Particularly the play of the goalies, Eyasu Sagaye for Cambridge Rindge and Alex Smagula for Brookline. Both came up with some really big plays today. You know, also some of the defenders, especially Michael Brown for Cambridge and Jonah Lippman for Brookline, came away with a number of big plays to limit the other team's opportunities to attack. But that's how it's going to end. Brookline's record moves to 0-2-1 as their home opener ends in a tie. Well, once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, If you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I know the boys' soccer games are pretty typically unlisted, but there's a lot of other sports I'm going to be covering this fall, including all 5 of the other Brookline High soccer teams. So be sure to stay tuned for my broadcast of all those games. Subscribe to the channel can help. Thank you once again to Esh Dental for sponsoring this broadcast. Esh Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. You can book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent Dr. Brandon Esh for the non-corporate, personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eshdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. You can see that down in the description section down below, as well as a link to the official Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club if you would like to support the Brookline High soccer programs. And you can also find a link and phone number for our local charity Spotlight Brookline Food Pantry as well if you would like to support their work that they do for the community. You know, a lot of fine organizations in this Brookline community, and just a few that you can see the links to down in the description down below. You can also see some information related to me as well in the description section and in the bottom right corner of your screen, my personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can always email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And you can also follow me on social media on Instagram and or Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams and the links to upcoming live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score, Brookline 0, Cambridge Rindge 0 from Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.